Hello and welcome to Hybrid Services Limited, the Mimaki distributor for the UK and Ireland. And I'm really pleased to welcome you here for the launch of the brand new UJV200 series. Available in two widths, 130 and 160, the new UV print-only solution from Mimaki represents a great new product in our UV printing product range. What we're going to be doing today is taking you through the product, talking about some of the key features of this new product and showing you some of the different applications that you can achieve. Obviously the demo unit is here in our showroom, so if you like what you see, you're interested in seeing more, you can book in to get your own personal demo here, or alternatively you can talk to one of your reseller partner and potentially go and have a demo at their showroom. Or if you're going to FESPA, you'll find Mimaki with a very large stand as normal, with a full range of technology, including this new UV printer. So what does UV printing give you? Well, most of you will know this, but essentially it enables you to have high value multi-layer options. You can create unique and visual tactile experiences. You can print onto a much wider range of materials than solvent. It has low temperature UV curing, which again, in terms of the range of materials, means that it's capable of printing onto a much wider range, giving you more flexibility, giving you a chance to give your customers far more in terms of output, and of course, hopefully make more money for yourselves in the process. And again, we shouldn't forget that UV is an eco-friendly and energy efficient technology. Significantly lower electricity and energy requirements, almost up to around about 84% less than the equivalent solvent or latex technologies. So all in all, it provides you with an opportunity to add high value, wider range of applications whilst using a technology which has good eco-friendly characteristics. So this is the UJV200 160, so the 160 width. We have a 130 width version as well. It's a print-only printer. We're going to talk a little bit later about how you can facilitate print and then cut. We've got this set up with four colors, white and clear, but you can also run it as 2x CMYK. What does the UJV200 deliver for you, and what can you use it to deliver to your end customers? Well, firstly, you're going to find superior image quality. It's an affordable entry-level UV technology, but because it is based upon the printhead technology of the 330 series, you are going to see extremely high quality print results. Sharp, vibrant colors, less graininess, with a minimum drop size of around 4 picaliters. In addition to that, you're going to get reliable productivity. You can expect to see around about 14 meters squared at a standard sort of print speed, 600 by 600 DPI, 6-pass, and that's with 4 colors printing a single layer. So good speeds, good versatility, and the ability to do multi-layer printing. As I said, this printer is set up with 4-color white and clear. That means that you can print up to 3 layers, so color, white, color, and that's achievable with no pullback. So really, really versatile, opens up lots of different avenues for window graphics and retail graphics, and enables you to offer more to your customer base. And as I mentioned, eco-friendly and user-friendly. There's some great functionality. We're going to talk a little bit more about something called DAS2 in a wee while. Really good new functionality on the UJV200. And in addition to that, it's running a brand new next generation ink, ELS 170. Now that ELS 170 ink has a number of benefits for you and your customers. It's CMR free and it's CVHC free. The latter means that it doesn't have any substances of very high concern. It also has a European toy safety standard, which means it has no harmful heavy metals. All in all, a great new ink, great flexible ink, both in terms of its working characteristics and in terms of its adhesion to a range of materials. So Ash, who's working with me here, you'll see him coming into shot every now and again, just going to send the job. We've got clear film set up in the UJV200 at the minute, and we're just going to print two files, a white file and then a white and color file. The white ink across all of Mimaki's UV print technologies is a really strong opaque white. It's something that Mimaki is renowned for in terms of its ink technology, and that gives you the confidence that when you're printing white graphics or you're printing multi-layer graphics with white, that you're going to get a really strong punchy white and also really strong punchy vibrant graphics in terms of the colors. Now, those vibrant solid colors that I mentioned are delivered with a number of different technologies. Firstly, there's MAPS 4, and then there is DAS 2. DAS 2 we're going to talk about a little bit later. But MAPS is basically stands for Mimaki Advanced Pass System. And what that essentially does is it uses an adaptive algorithm to essentially create a graduation between the different print passes, which basically smooths out the print and enables you to have really strong, solid, vibrant colors, blocks of color, which really are very, very punchy and very, very smooth. And that's even at very high speeds. In addition to that, you're going to see really sharp details, very small letters, very thin lines. Those are going to be razor sharp with very, very high detail. And that's, again, delivered through some core technologies from Mimaki. The DAS 2, again, but also variable dot size, where Mimaki is able to control the print head to deliver variable print dot sizes to create very, very sharp details. And in addition to that, something called waveform control. Now, Mimaki has a lot of engineering control over the print head. And in terms of the amount of sharp detail, the waveform control basically optimizes the firing of the ink droplets. And that is based upon the print speed, the resolution, and the ink viscosity. It takes all of those into account and optimizes the firing of the ink to give you the very best quality. Lastly, you're going to see really smooth skin tones. It's able, and we're going to do some printing of a graphic like that a little bit later. It does this with both the variable dot size printing and also the DAS 2. Now, DAS 2 is a new bit of functionality that you'll find on the UJV200. It basically stands for auto adjustment and optimization of the dot position. And it does that in a very, very clever way. It has a camera built in to the printhead, and it does a test print in terms of a color print, and then the camera reads that color print. That can be on various different materials. What it enables you as the operator to do is to optimize your print quality on that material. It uses the sensor. It's a fully automated process, takes around about 7 minutes to do this, works on any media, and just works in the background, does the job for you, and produces the most optimized print quality for that media that is possible. I know that when Ash, who works in the showroom with Richard, when they first used DAS 2, they were just blown away by how straightforward it was to use and the quality of the results from this fully automated process. So you can see here we've got the white print done on this clear film, and we're going to carry on now and print out some coloured print. You can see that the opacity of that white print is really, really strong. And when you look closely at some of the gradients and lighter white coverage, it produces a very, very high quality result. The solid colors that we mentioned about previously, again, when you're printing like this, combination of white and clear, really punchy graphics, really clean, solid, smooth colors, really nice results across the board. So we've got the UJV200 available 2 widths. The UJV200 is also capable of linking to Mimaki's Pict software. Pict is a cloud tool which allows you to monitor the status of your printers, including the UJV200. It allows troubleshooting of machine problems. It allows you to see ink consumption and costs, and you can even pull reports from Pict, which can be used for cost processing. It's a really fantastic tool, and highly recommend if you use a UJV200 or any other Mimaki products that you take a look at Pict, investigate it. It adds a lot of value to your workflow and can add a lot of control and give you, as the operator, a lot of extra information in terms of your print routines. So as I mentioned, the UJV200 is a print-only UV printer. But not to worry, because if you want to do print and cut, if you're going at a certain productivity level, in all honesty, you're better running separates anyway. You'll get far more productivity with a separate printer and separate cutter, because essentially the slowest part of any print and cut routine on a printer cutter is the cutting. Obviously, whilst it's cutting, it can't be printing. But if you have separates and you have a UJV200 paired with something like this is the Mimaki CG160 FX2 Plus, and there's a 130 width of this available as well, you can be cutting whilst the printer is still printing. And of course, what that does is compresses down your production times, which is obviously key when you're trying to get work out of the door. Of course, cutting, no need to wait for gassing off, because of course it's UV cured ink. It's a flexible ink, so absolutely no problem for cutting. Here we've got something that's been printed onto a silver vinyl, and in a second we're going to cut this out. You'll notice that on the graphic there is essentially barcoding. Now what that barcoding means is that your workflow from the print file to the cut file is seamless. You can load your media once printed with the barcodes into the cutter. The cutter will read those barcodes and retrieve the correct cut file from the computer. So no more sort of kind of racking your brains, which file was this, trying to find the actual file and then output that file. No, it's all sorted for you. It's all seamless. The workflow is a dream. Really, really good. If you've not tried it and you're interested in seeing that workflow, because of course this can be done with Mimaki's solvent printers as well, definitely worth talking to your reseller partner or popping into the hybrid showroom to see how it works. Now, what we have over here, Ash has just taken that clear film out and is going to load in some white vinyl. Now, I mentioned earlier about DAS2. We're going to run the DAS2 in a second once Ash has loaded the white vinyl, just to show you how simple it is. It's basically a couple of presses on the keypad to activate the DAS2. It's a fully automatic system, which, as I said, prints a very simple test file. Once the test file has been printed, it uses a camera to read the different colors of the print and then optimizes the print system to deliver the most clean and quality output that it possibly can achieve on that media. So we've got the media in. Thanks, Ash. So that's the DAS2 automatic system activated. So here we've got the UJV200 starting to do the DAS2 process. So I know I've talked about it a little bit in terms of what it is and what it does, but let's just touch on why it's important to you. Well, the first thing is it's a fully automated system, so you don't need to be an expert to be able to configure the machine for the different types of media that you might want to put through it. And of course, let's remember that you might be printing a clear film like we were before 1 minute. You might then be printing light box material the next minute. You might be printing white banner material. You might be printing onto who knows what. And of course, with each one of those prints, that might be a new material. It might be a new supplier of that material with a slight variance in terms of that media. What DAS2 does is give the power for you to get the best out of your printer, and it puts that power into your hands without you needing to learn anything, without you needing to remember anything other than those couple of clicks on the control panel to basically set the automatic system going. So once the DAS2 is complete, it enables you to save up to 4 media settings. So if you've got 4 medias that you're generally running, or 4 different types of materials, then you can save up to 4 of those on the machine so that you know next time you come and use that material, you're going to get the optimum performance from the UJV200. That was DAS2, fully automated system, optimizing the quality of the print for that particular media. As I mentioned, that can then be saved on the printer so that next time you put that media in, you know you're going to get the optimum print quality that you deserve and that you want to deliver to your customers. Now I'm going to send a nice print job that will show the benefits of a lot of the inbuilt technology. It's just a standard sort of file with some nice skin tones in it, so you'll be able to see the quality that's able to come off it. We're printing here, as I mentioned, with a setup where we've got 4 color, white and clear. If you were running this with 2 times CMYK, you're going to get approximately twice the productivity speeds. But as you'll see, it's no slouch even set up here with CMYK, white, clear. And whilst it's printing, let's just touch on a few of the things that maybe are obvious, maybe not obvious about the printer. So first of all, we're running 1 litre bottles of UV ink. As I mentioned, this is a brand new next gen ELS 170 ink. The printer is based on the 200 series. So far in the series, we've got a JV and a CJV, print only and print and cut solvent. And we also have a TS200, which is the die sub version of the 200 series platform. With the UJV200, we now have solvent, die sub and UV in that 200 series platform, all using the next gen 330 series heads. In addition to that, because this platform has been built from the ground up, you've got a lot of improvements based on some of the previous Mimaki printers that you may be running now, or you may have used at some point in the past. Those improvements include shortening cleaning cycle times, reducing those by actually quite a dramatic amount of time, to simplify and speed up the daily maintenance routines that you would do with this printer. Of course, you've got some of the normal things that you would expect to find on a Mimaki printer. You've got the powered take-up down here. We've got a really simple control panel. Very simple to use in terms of operation, and as we've talked about a lot, there's a lot of things that have been automated in terms of the processes that you would tend to have to use. One of the things with Mimaki, the RIP comes as standard with the printer, so you'll be running Rasterlink with the UJV200 included with the machine free of charge. So with Rasterlink, you have a RIP software that is both straightforward to use, but also has a lot of inbuilt advanced functionality, which is great because once you've had the training in terms of how to use Rasterlink, you know how to do the basics. You can be off to the races doing your prints, but then you can dive in deeper. And when you want to, you can have far more control of your prints using some of the advanced functionality that's built into Rasterlink. One of the really cute features that's available, again, built in free of charge, is ink saving functionality. The ink saving functionality, again, it's not revolutionary in terms of the technology. You're essentially removing colors and replacing those with black in the darker areas of a graphic. But what's great about it is it's included free of charge. Quite often that's a value added thing to a RIP that you have to pay extra for. Mimaki have included that as standard into Rasterlink. What does it enable you to do? Well, it enables you, obviously image dependent, but it allows you to reduce the amount of ink that you're actually printing with. Why is that good? Well, of course, there's the ecological aspects to it, but more importantly for you, I guess, it's cost saving. You can actually reduce from a level of 1 to 5 in terms of ink saving. And at that midpoint, level 3, you have the possibility of saving up to around about 35% of your ink consumption. Of course, if you put two images side by side, you may be able to see slight variations depending on the image, but at level 3, it's actually fairly imperceivable for most people to see those differences. Importantly, of course, when it comes to you showing this to your client, you show them the ink saving. If they're happy with it, you save yourself some money and you're still delivering to your client a print that they're really, really happy with. So that ink saving functionality is built in as standard into the Rasterlink RIP. If we look here and take a closer look at this print here, you'll see really, really lovely skin tones. Really nice, smooth print, which takes advantage of a lot of the inbuilt technology that we've talked about in this presentation. So whether or not you're printing onto banner, vinyl, onto lightbox material, you can be certain that for this type of retail type graphics, you're going to be producing prints of a very, very high quality. So the UJV200, in my opinion, provides you with a really great opportunity to step into UV printing at a really affordable level, and it allows you to step into using a really high quality, user-friendly printer. If you're already printing with UV, the UJV200 potentially provides you with an opportunity to upgrade your print performance with UV, either in terms of quality or speed or versatility. You know, we talked about the fact that this can print up to 3 layers with no pullback. All of that type of functionality could be a step up for you from what you're currently printing with in terms of UV. It also represents the opportunity to add extra capacity and productivity to your current UV printing. So whether or not you're completely new to UV or you're already using a UV printer of some description, the UJV200 is something that you definitely should take a look at. And as I mentioned right at the beginning of this presentation, the UJV200 is here in our showroom at Hybrid Services in Crewe, about 5-10 minutes away from the train station, just off the motorways. You can book in and take a look at this printer and see how the value of this printer could add value to your business. Alternatively, if you're visiting FESPA next week, visit the Mimaki stand. Take a look at the UJV200 and all of the other amazing UV and solvent and dye sub technologies that are available. Either way, thank you very much for joining us here in this presentation. We're really pleased that you took an interest in the new UJV200, and I hope that it can add value to your print business. Thanks very much for joining us.